Hey everyone, it's Caroline from Caroline Adams Coaching, and today we are talking about how to stop struggling with how to sell yourself. If you are in the market for a career change and you are just frozen at the idea of having to sell yourself or convince people to hire you, you are not alone. It is one of the most common career change barriers, and I would say one of the most powerful in its ability to derail people, whether they want to start a business, whether they're super excited about a career path or idea. The idea that we have to sell ourselves can grind all that to a halt. So I want you to know a few things before we dive in. Number one, you don't have to sell yourself, and today we are going to talk about a formula to use instead. I also want you to know that if selling yourself or convincing other people doesn't feel good to you, take that as a great first sign, because what you're intuitively picking up there is the energy of how it feels to be sold to or convinced of something you don't want. And so you're picking up on a misalignment that's going to be really important in how we kind of shift our framework and what we do instead. So before we get into this new formula and even why selling yourself feels so bad, I want you to do a really important and really simple check-in with yourself. Because oftentimes what's underneath this idea that we need to sell ourselves or convince the other person is actually that we're not fully convinced ourselves. And so I invite you to ask, right? How much of this idea that you need to sell yourself or convince other people is coming from a place of, I know my value, I know what I bring to the table, I know what I offer day one, and I just really need to find the people that are going to see that in me, and then we're off to the races. So how much is that? I just need to find the right people versus, I'm not really feeling that great about the value and strengths and experience that I bring to the table. If it is the latter, no worries, but this is a great sign that we need to stop here and we need to reground in what is your value? Because I promise you, you have it, right? What are your strengths? What are the things you're excited about? What are the things you're curious about? Note that this doesn't mean, I'm not asking if you have all the answers and know exactly how this is going to play out. I'm just talking about how much this is about you saying, I need to find the right people, and how much is this about you questioning your own self, right? And we really need to pause here. If you are questioning your own value, it's going to be really hard, if not impossible, to communicate your value in a way that others actually pick up on. So really important checkpoint. Now let's get into why selling yourself feels so bad. Again, great instinct. So I want you to imagine a spotlight. And when you are selling yourself, where's that spotlight? That spotlight is totally focused on you. Only you, you're tapped dancing on stage, you're selling your wares, you're talking yourself up. Where's that other person? They're totally in the dark, right? And so the idea that we're selling ourselves, it's completely disconnected, right? It's all about you and your spotlight and nothing about the other person. And I just invite you to kind of think about a time where you felt sold to, right? And this person is kind of coming at you, maybe not even trying to solve a problem that you actually have, maybe trying to do the hard sell in terms of trying to convince you that their thing is the thing that you need. And what we often feel is like, oh, this person doesn't even know me. This person doesn't see me. This person hasn't taken the time to actually ask any questions or understand. That's why it feels bad, right? Because there's a disconnection. So let's talk about what to do instead. So in this formula that I'm inviting you to shift to and try out, I want you to imagine that spotlight again. And I first want you to imagine that spotlight shining on the other person. And we want to know from that other person, what are their values? What do they care about? What keeps them up at night? What are their biggest pain points? What are their biggest desired outcomes, right? Let's truly see them. Let's truly understand what they care about. And then we are going to shift the spotlight, and then we're going to share of ourselves, but it all comes through the lens of seeing them, validating them, and where what they want and what we want fits in the middle. It gets to be a question about fit. Oh, it's so interesting you mentioned X, right? I've been passionate about X my entire career, and it's kind of played a smaller role, and now I want it to play, be the centerpiece and play a much bigger role, right? So not shining the spotlight entirely on them either, right? Now you can kind of imagine the spotlight dancing in between you and even settling on the middle in this beautiful intersection of, oh, here are the things they care about, here are the things I care about. How might these things fit together? Hopefully you hear that really important difference. I want to speak to a minute to my business owners. There is some really unfortunate language that is out there around, we are literally told a lot of times to sell ourselves, and we are selling ourselves to people, and we are the brand. No, ick, arg, that is gross, and it is actually not true. And so I would invite you as a business owner to replace that with probably the most powerful question you can ask before any interaction with any customer. And that is, can I genuinely help this person? Right? Is what I offer, the service, the product, whatever, can this really help the person with the problem that they are trying to solve? It is a superpower to get in the even unconscious, consciously at first, but unconscious habit of orienting every single interaction, conversation, actual sale, however it works, with that. Because then you are coming from a true place of integrity and fit, right? Because not everyone's going to be your customer. Not everyone is going to want what you're offering. And I would even say, as an advanced lesson, sometimes I'll even say that to people. I'll get on the call with people and I'll say, you know what? I'm actually not sure if I'm a best fit based on what you've said you wanted. Let's talk it through together. Or you're right on the cusp. Let's have a conversation and we can kind of figure out if my program is the best program or there's somewhere else that I think you'd have a better fit aligned with what you're looking for. And what this does is several things. Number one, you get to stay in integrity. Huge, huge for the long-term health and wealth of your business to be in integrity. Who wants to start a relationship off with offering someone something that they don't actually need, and certainly that won't help them? So stay in integrity. It invites the other person in to come up with a solution with you. You guys are both figuring out together. And so it's not this weird spotlight shining on either one of you. It is, let's come to the solution and agree together. And last but not least, it really builds that trust, right? Again, I build relationships, try to build relationships for the long term. And what is a long-term relationship if we are not based in trust and honesty and, talking directly to people, whether it's something they want to hear or don't want to hear. So I offer that to you as business owners. And now kind of coming back to whether you're a business owner or not, I think there's something in here really important too about who you are focused on, because there are always going to be people who aren't your people who need to be convinced, right? And they might even come at you with that energy. Tell me why I should hire you. Tell me why you're the best person for this role. Convince me in 30 seconds why you're the best candidate. And I really invite you, when you kind of see that energy from other people, to kind of take a step back and really evaluate how that feels and whether that is the right person and or opportunity, because the right people for you are going to be wired to play this game of fit with you, right? Oh yeah, I'm really interested in this. Oh, I love what you're saying about this. Could we do it this way? How might this work, right? They're coming from that angle of fit and alignment, and the people that need to be convinced are probably never going to be convinced. And so we might as well not even waste our energy on them. So those are my ideas. That's the formula. I really invite you to share how this lands with you and certainly what other questions you have. There's a lot more I could say on this topic, so I would love to hear how all of this landed. Thanks for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.